Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 168. This basically I'm discussing episodes 77 to 82. Yes, we're getting almost close to that finish line of finishing up Gorenger. Yes, that is pretty much basically what's happening here. Now, as for the monsters one, we have these following monsters. By the way, we're actually getting really close. We actually do have these following monsters. Iron Snake Mask, Mammoth Mask, Iron Tiger Mask, Kettle Mask, Yo-Yo Mask, and of course, we also have Skate Mask and a one-shot character by the name of, Black Shadow 9. Yes. Black Shadow 9 appeared in one episode. Yep. Now, if you're curious, though, okay, why in the world do they appear in just one episode? She appeared in one episode. Yeah, Black Shadow 9 is a spy. Yeah, she's there just to distract him from the plan to treat with the skeletons. This one. Yeah, and the whole thing is trying to stabilize Eagle. It's one of several episodes still trying to get rid of Eagle. And the monster of this one is, of course, Skate Mask. Now, Skate Mask is the last independent monster of the entire series. He's not associated with Golden Mask. He's just an independent monster. He's the last one. He's the first one since Iron Cage Mask. Now, he's actually the third. Now, overall, he's the third and last one of the independent monsters that is not associated with, of course, one of the generals. Now, they did temporarily stop doing independent monsters after episode 14, but they brought the concept back occasionally. First episode 31, then 40, and now, of course, episode 79. Yeah. Now, in the case of the other episodes, now in the case of the one with Black Shadow 9, that one is, well, this one's actually a bit of a comedy, because there's one scene where they break into her apartment where you have Key Ranger disguise himself as a detective, where he basically just lets himself into her apartment, raids her fridge for bananas. Yes, bananas. And he just goes to her closet, takes out a couple of, oh yeah, my wife will love these. And takes out some bras too. I'm like, what the heck are you up to, man? By far the most hilarious bit of the episode. And by the way, Black Shadow 9 is killed at the end of the episode for failing her mission. Yeah, but it's a mixture of comedy, a little bit of seriousness here. But definitely, that was definitely a good episode. But you gotta think, okay, what about the rest of the episodes? Well, in the case of 77, well, kill a bunch of girls in the village in order to get the attention, in order to distract the Go Rangers from a mine underneath the actual village. And they have the monster posed as an actual goddess, a snake goddess, who basically this area's worshipped for centuries. And Peggy's the one investigating this one. Yes, this is one of 3 episodes focused on Peggy. Now, I do like the fact of focusing on her, so the whole episode focuses on her, and of course she's told just to stay out of it. And you're probably thinking from viewers she's with the government. She's basically able to do whatever the heck she wants. She can basically override it if she wants to. But then, of course, they do, in fact, find out about the monster. And they had this weird bit when they first have to kill the first victim, where they sort of she hypnotizes the girl, takes off her coat. By the way, this is when they're outside. You're probably thinking, basically watching this, is the monster going to strip this beautiful woman? No, she's gonna act like a freaking vampire and bite her neck like a snake monster. The monster herself reminds me of some monsters from Kamen Rider. Yeah, it's one of now mostly put a lot of the monsters very original to this one, but this one looks like it's pulled directly out of Kamen Rider. It's like they pretty much took one of the old costumes from Kamen Rider and basically repurposed it for this character. I mean, it looks like one of the old monsters not from the early days of Kamen Rider, more like one of the later days of Kamen Rider, probably from later on from the original one, or maybe from I'd say from the later half one, mostly. That's the kind of attitude of this one. But very interesting episode that one was. Now, I've already just got 79. What about 78, you might ask? Well, 78 is a episode focused on Yellow Ranger. Yes, Yellow Ranger. Yes. Now, this one, you have this guy who apparently really wants to become a member of the Go Rangers. And he's this guy who's kind of like Danta, where he basically is a big guy. And it turns out this guy is actually a spy. Yeah. The whole purpose of this episode is to find out where the Go Rangers base is. And that's simply it. And of course, they do in fact defeat the monster. Now, how to defeat something that was like a snake one, a breathalyzer. Yes, a breathalyzer. How do they defeat someone like Snake Mask? Well, Snake Mask is beaten by a snowball. Yeah, seriously, that's what they beat Snake Mask. Skate Mask, excuse me. Monmouth Mask, he is beaten by covered in snow. Now, Iron Tiger Mask, he is hilarious. He called one point the guy he was a kitty. Was he beaten by freaking Tamari? Yes, a freaking ball, which I found to be so hilarious. Now, episode 80's plot is interesting to say the least. This one is simply just... There's like no real serious threat with this one. It just basically... Yeah, this is another focus on Peggy. Try to reunite this little boy with his father. The whole episode. And, of course, they have the Black Cross Army trying to stop them. I'm like, wow, a non-world threat in the episode. And get this, the boy gets wounded. I'm like, damn, that's interesting. 81 is a basic focus on Mara Ranger. Excuse me, he's out training with some troops, and then they get attacked by the Kettle Monster, by Kettle Mask. Yeah, who actually frames them for murder and treason. And apparently they really want to have him get killed off so badly. And of course the prosecutor's like, oh yeah, we have this evidence on him. And I'm like, did you forget something? Now, here's the thing. Even in the 70s, they probably would still do this. Hey, officer, did you... I'm surprised that the defense attorney didn't basically raise this question. Objection! Did you check for fingerprints of the damn thing? Did you cross-check his fingerprints what's on that thing? And that's never brought up here. If you do something like this in modern day, you gotta basically check your fingerprints, because otherwise, though, it's your word against his. So that's basically one objection I have here. Oh, by the way, he's wounded. Yeah, he's basically in court for treason, and he's freaking wounded. Like, he's basically walking on a limp the whole episode. And it turns out that his friend betrayed him, and he does confront him. Of course, they try to hide him, despite the fact that he basically wants to ask him why the heck he stabbed the frickin' back. The reason? How he claims first, because I was jealous of you making a Go Range, and of course, my Range's like, that's bullcrap. Tell me your real reason. It turns out Caleb has blackmailed him because they put a bomb under his sister's school. The school his sister teaches at, who happened to be an old childhood friend of his. I'm like, okay, interesting. Then the court, by the way, the sister is never informed by the end of the episode that her brother has been killed. Also, apparently off screen, the charge against Asuka was basically dropped due to finding new evidence. It's presumed anyways, because next episode is basically normal. Yep. As for the last episode, which basically the monstrous one, is Yo-Yo Mask, who is the second to last monster ever to be seen in this one. Now, they do bring... Now, 003, I like the fact that this character was quickly just seen just in the story here, and... And I really do appreciate the fact they actually gave her a character. For a one-shot character, they gave plenty of character development. For someone was killed off early in the episode. So the episode started Peggy just waiting for her Now, apparently, they found out some plans. Now, they only found out one of the plans. What the other plans were, don't know, because she gets killed off. So, excuse me, they do point out she was an excellent agent. So, I at least appreciate that the writers actually. My guess is the writers of the series must have got some flack for some of these spies being terrible at their jobs, where basically they can infiltrate stuff, no problem, but they get killed while on the job, or they just basically kill while escaping. 003, I'm like, wow, you actually have a competently written spy. Despite being killed off per se, but she was definitely competent. They basically explain she's a good agent. Like the fact she had an alias. Like, okay, interesting. I like this character, despite the fact her being killed off early. I liked all her backstory stuff. I think they didn't necessarily explore her backstory per se. She had an apartment under it and earned an alias, which was interesting. So, the plan for this one is another one of these, oh, we gotta destroy Eagle. And of course, Yo-Yo Monster, who poses as a magician. Yes, he's posing as a magician. And unleashes these colored yo-yos at the Gorengers. And apparently, Gorenger just points, okay, just demorph. And just stops. So, they eventually stop the yo-yos by colored lights. And this is also another time where, I think this is actually the third time I can think of, where the commander's actually on the field. He's doing fighting per se, but at least got breached. He did a little bit of something in these episodes. And of course, Monsters at the very end by another yo-yo, obviously. But yeah, damn good episode. Love it. And I can't wait to discuss the final two episodes. And then my final thoughts on Gorenger. Yep. But yeah, this particular episode of you. Next to the Comic Corn, and then be on to the final two episodes of Gorenger. And then I'll start my two anime reviews, which will be Chainsaw Man and The Great Gentleman Defeated. And after I finish those two, I was going to do an anime, Blade of the Immortal. I figured, though, why don't I just say that for a little bit later? I can wait. But because I looked up one particular series. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to review what basically what Sentai I'm going to do next. Along with basically I'm also going to go back to Kamen Rider, obviously. But I'll talk about that when I talk about the next video, okay? Next video. Bye.